Chapter 0, Prologue. Through no volition of his own, ever since he'd been born, Daiho had had his place of residence changed many a time. Each of those domiciles had their own merits, and he whiled his days far removed from any desire to move to outside pastures. Despite that, he did occasionally reminisce about a former den of his, and had even felt like returning at points. And yet, the species known as cats was vested with a rather hazy power of recollection, making it not readily apparent whether those memories were of a place the cat's paws had in fact once prowled, or whether it was some imagined realm it had dreamt of in a passing noonday nap. This time, however, that bygone housescape doggedly refused to ebb from the recesses of his mind. There were times he deemed the palace, where both cat and human knew their manners, a comfortable den indeed. The humans were well enough behaved, but somewhere in his heart of hearts, he could still see the sights and smell the smells that were not to be had in this place. It wasn't solely that the atmosphere paled in comparison. The humans here were also a careless, inattentive lot. In fact, his tail had gotten tread upon more than once. Even more troublesome were the cats. He couldn't sniff out any sort of order among the cat society here. As Daiho patrolled his territory, a wretched despondency filling the insides of his diminutive cranium, he encountered a male cat blocking the way. Daiho was not familiar with this cat. In all likelihood, he'd gotten lost after getting chased or some such, and was trying and failing to find his way back. It was not among catkind's virtues to show consideration to others. On the contrary, if the other party was an invader, then no value was seen in mercy. Daiho's fur bristled as he bared his fangs. And while it was unclear which had brandished his claws first, that was of little significance in feline culture. Daiho wrestled with the tomcat and thrust his sharp nails into the intruder. The battle lasted some time. During their prolonged scuffle, they would at times groom each other, and even take breaks. Eventually, Daiho repelled the young Tom. He licked his right foreleg, bringing relief to the bite wound. Once the housemate bumped into him, he'd probably apply some kind of sticky wrap to the injury while mumbling something or other in a patronizing tone. Daiho did grasp, albeit dimly, that wrap made the wound heal more quickly, but even so, he couldn't stand that odor. Having gotten hungry, Daiho elected to return to his roost. All he had to help him tell the passing of time was his stomach. After passing through a handful of cat doors to reach his destination, he aimed to snuggle up to his favorite crevice, only to find an occupant already there. It was Sakruka. The white female was in a lousy mood as of late, and today was no exception. She was combative. When Daiho attempted to enter his roost, she bared her own fangs at him. Daiho could not fathom why he was receiving such poor treatment. Until relatively recently, they'd shared the same crevice with good grace. Daiho used to fear nothing besides the tub of hot water with the odd-smelling bubbles, and yet his fighting spirit wilted before Sakruka. Bemoaning the absurdity that had gripped his soul, he decided to relax in a crevice he didn't particularly like. And there, as ill fortune would have it, he was discovered by the housemate. He was casually passing by when he noticed Daiho's foreleg. The human scooped him up, and Daiho, knowing what was to follow, protested vociferously. "It's one of the many mysteries of society," he said. "Why haven't they developed an odorless salve for cats?" "If they did, the cats would end up licking the ointment," said the housemate's housemate. "They make it smell bad to cats on purpose. Then they should just make it taste bad. This one does taste bitter, though." The housemate licked his finger. "It's more salty than bitter. Cats don't like saltiness." "For real?" The housemate brought his finger under Daiho's nose. Daiho repaid this act of violence by digging his claws into the human's hands.